I was just in a house secluded from society for 3 months. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get back into normalcy of, seeing my family again, speaking to people outside of that house and outside of Big Brother. I'm 100% appreciative of the opportunity that I've been presented with. I did not see myself being here at the beginning of this year, and the fact that I made it this far, with that being the situation, I'm extremely grateful. So to me, I'm all centered around love, man. I'm feeling good. I felt like the stars were aligning. I thought that everything was working out perfectly in my mind, especially given my resume, given the relationships that I had in jury, and how I played this game thus far. I had no doubt in my mind that I would be coming out on top after the vote. Joseph, because we were so tight throughout the season while he was here in the house, we had talked about wanting to see each other make it to the end. Kyle as well, somebody I was very tight with throughout the entire season, even with, the things that sort of came out about the way he was playing the game and, the unfortunate thought process that he had taken on throughout the game. I thought that he was going to respect my game and how I played it. I thought at least Michael as well too, and Indy for sure. I thought those votes were going to come through just because of the relationship that I had with them, the type of game that I played, the moves that I made. I was thinking these people all have watched Big Brother. They understand, what it takes to get this far and the moves that you have to make. And I thought that I did everything humanly possible to make those moves and put my resume on blast to say, let me know what I could have done more, right? So I think those were the votes that I was counting on. Oh, you know what? I forgot about Terrence. The same thing with Terrence. You got to make a big move. The whole season, man. Like, he wanted me to take a shot at Michael. He wanted me to take a shot at anybody who came off as a physical threat. So the fact that I did that at the end of the game, I thought was, enough for me to earn his vote, just based off of the evidence of our conversation. Taylor has she's gifted in communication. She knows how to connect with people, and I think during her speech and the way that she was answering questions, especially her journey throughout this season, really resonated with the jury. I personally believe that, because before those speeches, I felt pretty good, but then afterwards, I felt like, wow, she smoked that thing. She went up there and she just stunned it. She went and the person that I could imagine being on a pageant stage showed up right then and there, in the way that she was able to communicate and answer questions. So to me, I think that was what resonated with the jury. And I think all of the women in the jury, especially, united around the fact that they had multiple opportunities to bring her in and work with her throughout the season. And unfortunately, they didn't take those opportunities. And I think this was sort of their chance to look at the situation and say, you know what? She may have not been in with the girls at the very jump, but she earned their respect, and rightfully so. She could definitely say things that resonated with the jury. I didn't know how well it would resonate with the jury. I thought that, again, like I'm an evidence-based person. From the conversations that I heard from Indy, from Jasmine, and even their actions in the game, with some of the women in the house, I didn't think that maybe they would connect that much with that story, just because they were at an arm's length from it. Brittany, of course, not necessarily everybody else. I mean, in my head, I think about it. If I were to sit next to Turner, then I think the narrative around like my story versus his, it could be very similar. So then I think it comes down to who made the biggest moves in the game. And I thought Turner made the biggest moves on his HOHs. He took out a big social threat and competitive, threat in Amira on week 3. And then with Kyle, again, although the circumstances were what they were, another physical threat, another social threat. And then Michael, like the best Big Brother competitor I've ever seen. Although I won the veto, it was on his HOH. So I'm looking at my resume. I'm like, all right, I'm taking out Nicole, Alyssa, and, I voted out Brittany. I don't think that's really gonna. And then if I choose to keep Turner, then they're gonna be like, oh, he was scared to make a big move. So like, I just feel like I thought in my mind that Taylor would be the best option, because I thought there was a bigger margin between our game and how I controlled my destiny versus in her situation, she had to overcome a lot, unfortunately. But I thought my moves were clear and the resume was there. The crazy thing is, hearing that speech, maybe I would have voted for Taylor too, man. I don't know. Like, I think she did a wonderful job of communicating the importance of the vote in the jury, and I think she did a wonderful job of laying out all that had happened this season for her. And I don't think Turner probably would have, in a similar way. We're both very, old school sort of guys. Although we're younger, we tend to have old souls. So we're just like, all right, this is what I did, and this is what I got done. Here's my resume, take it or leave it. So I think Taylor would have done a great job communicating, and probably would have swayed me, to be honest. So maybe Taylor in that, right?